Hello everyone, welcome to Sarah's Stitchery. My name is Sarah and this is my channel where I talk all about my cross stitch. Today is December 29th and I have a WIP parade for you today. I'm going to be sharing my 2024 end of year WIPs to see how my year ended and what I'm going to be taking with me into 2025. I love watching WIP parades. I love filming WIP parades. I love being able to pull out all of my WIPs. You can see I've got some piles behind me. I do pull all of them out and get them out of their project bags. I iron them, make sure that I know the information. That way I can present it in a somewhat organized fashion. And I hope that you see some things you like here today. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and spending more time with me. I always appreciate that. And if you're new here, hello, welcome. You picked a great episode to start with because you'll get to see what my aesthetic is as far as what I like to stitch and the types of fabric and floss and stuff that I like to use. So I hope you enjoy your time with me today, whether you're new or returning, and I hope that you will consider subscribing to my channel. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by giving you some end of year stats. I'll keep it short and sweet, and then we're gonna get right into it. So as far as 2024 goes, I am ending the year with 67 WIPs. You're going to see 65 or 66 of those today. I'll explain that in a moment. I do have 45 finishes for the year, which is very exciting. I have mentioned in my previous videos that I had a goal for 2024 that I was calling my hashtag 24 finishes in 24. And that was specifically for any WIPs that I brought with me into 2024. So things I had started prior to 2024, I wanted to finish 24 of those. So I did meet that goal. I finished 24 things that were WIPs prior to 2024. And so anything on top of that was things that I started and finished within 2024. So pretty happy to be ending the year with 45 finishes. I might possibly have a 46th. I have another one that's kind of close to being done. I'll show it to you here shortly. And I am rounding out the year with a total of 43 FFOs, so fully finished objects. So I'm pretty proud of myself. It was a pretty productive year and I'm very happy with my progress. So let's get into it. As I mentioned, I have 67 WIPs. You'll definitely see 65 of those today. One of my WIPs is a secret stitch that I'm stitching for a friend for a swap that we're doing, a Galentine's Day swap. So I can't show that, obviously. And another one is one that I'm hoping will pop up as we're doing the WIP parade. So as I mentioned, I got all of my WIPs out. I ironed them. I have them sitting in piles based on the year that I started them. And that's literally the only organization I have today. So they're just organized by year. My oldest WIPs are from 2021. So that's where I'm going to be starting today with my 2021 WIPs. But within that category, I don't have them organized chronologically. It's just whatever came out of the bag first, right? There was one WIP that was unaccounted for after I had ironed all of my WIPs, and it's one that I really love. I have a feeling that I had put 2 projects in one of my keepers possibly, and that I missed one when I was going through. These piles are pretty precarious, so I was not about to go digging to find it. So I'm hoping it pops up as we're going through, because otherwise I have no idea where it would be, and it's one that I really love. So hopefully you'll see 66 WIPs today. So let's get started with my oldest WIPs. I have, I believe, 6 WIPs from the year 2021, and that's where I'm going to get started first. So the first one I have to show you here is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. This is by Carriage House Samplings. So many people are stitching this, have stitched this. I love it so much. I was working with my friend Mel. We had set a goal for ourselves to work on this WIP on the 13th and 31st of every month. She has done a great job with that goal. I have not. I talked in my last regular video about how I'm terrible with goals. And so as soon as I set a goal for myself about something, I just don't want to do it anymore. And a lot of you messaged me that you're the exact same way. So I'm not going to be following that goal anymore, but I do want to get some stitches on this. So the goal, you know, with quotation, air quotes there, is that I just pull it out whenever I want to work on it. But here it is. That's my stitching that I've done since 2021. There we are. So that's all I have done. I finished that block probably back in 2021, and this is what I had worked on with Mel, and I have made very, very, very little progress. So, oh wow. It'll be here when I'm ready for it, right? I am stitching this. I'll try to be very good about sharing all the fabrics with you in the floss. I'm stitching this on a 40 count Veteris by Mystic Fabrics. And I just love the color. It is coming across way more modeled than it is in person, but it's beautiful. I love it. I am stitching it with all of the called for DMC. There are quite a few, but I love those bright fall colors. And that is my Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. And I hope you don't mind, but as we go through, I am going to fold them back up and put them in the bags because I don't want everything to get mixed up and then I'll be confused. And I'll try to show you my bags as I go through too. So, Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. Make sure I put everything back in. I started using these cards, these project cards from the Nap Time Stitcher to keep myself organized so I can keep all of my information handy. So I'm keeping it in a bag from, I believe this is Michelle Lee Quilts. Yes. Who happens to be one of my real life friends. Hi, Michelle. I believe I bought this when I was at the 141 retreat. Not this past September, but the one before. All right. My next 2021 WIP is Moonlight Sampler. I had started this for my birthday back in 2021, and I had stitched like this right here. And I know I've told this story before, so I'll keep it short, but I did not like the fabric I was stitching it on. It was way too light, and I realized that that was just not gonna work for me. In fact, I don't know if you could see it, but there's a little hoop right there where I had stitched this owl, and you can see that fabric is very light. The white on the owl was not showing up at all, so I was like, I'm just gonna cut that owl out of the fabric and stop where I'm at. But I do love that piece. But when I was at StitchCon, I want to say, I don't know if it was this year or last year, it's probably last year, but there was a trunk show from the Blue Flower there, and they had this finish there. Sorry for the glare. There we go. They had this finish there, so it happens to be the bottom of this stitched into a pillow. So they just brought that border all the way around, and I was like, you know what? That's my favorite part of the whole thing. So why don't I just stitch that part? And so I am stitching that. And so I did do a restart at some point. And here it is. Way better fabric. You could definitely see it now. I'm stitching this on a 40 count Queen Crepe Myrtle by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers, and I love it so much. I love those little animals. That sloth hanging off the letters there is super cute. And yeah, I'm going to keep going with that and make it into a pillow, and that way I have the finish without the regret of never stitching it, because I was feeling sad that I had to abandon my first attempt. So I'm keeping, and I am stitching that with all of the called for colors, which looks like it's a blend of like Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works, and some DMCs. And I'm keeping that in this beautiful bag that I got from Vintage Owl Lady on Etsy. So cute, that Tula Pink cat fabric. Oh, and I'm already forgetting to put my project card back in there. Gotta stay organized. Okay, this next one, This next one might be actually my oldest WIP. So this one I got on Mother's Day in 2021 from my kids, completely kitted up. I love this. It's called Tread Softly by Lindy Stitches. I love that owl. I love the vibrant colors of the flowers there on the branch. And it says, "But I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly because you tread on my dreams." I love that. And so my kids had purchased this for me and kitted it up so that I could just get started on it. And this, like I said, this was started back in 2021. So at that point, at least for the first half of 2021, I was, because I had, let me back up just a little bit more. I had been an Ada stitcher my whole entire life. I've been stitching since I was like 9. And then I was like, and I was always too scared to try linen. And finally that year I was like, I'm going to try linen. I'm just going to try it. And so I had started off with like 28 and 32. And so like I said, this was one of my, this is my oldest WIP, and this was one of my, probably my first time using 32 count. This is the called for, which is 32 count Mediterranean Sea by Witchelt. And it uses a combination of DMCs. There's some Dinky dyes in here and a couple of Weeks Dye Works colors. And so I am stitching this with 2 over 2 strands of floss over 2 linen threads. And while I love the pattern, you know, if you've watched me for any amount of time, you know I don't prefer to stitch 2 over 2. I really love stitching with 1 strand, and so I primarily stitch on 40 count. And for me, the fabric is a big thing, and I think that's true for a lot of us. Like we have to stitch on fabric that we enjoy, or otherwise the stitching is not, it's not enjoyable, right? So that's why I haven't stitched on this in so long, because I really don't like, and this is like it's kind of like an even weave. I just don't enjoy the fabric, and I feel bad because that's a lot of stitching that's gone into it so far already. But I feel like if I don't restart this on a different fabric, I might never finish it. So it's kind of sat for a long time with no love, and so I really need to just either restart it or just get back to it and do it, because I do want to do this one. Like I said, I love the pattern. It has sentimental value because it's from my kids for Mother's Day. I think it's probably going to have to be a restart for me. In fact, I'm going to sit it out and maybe see if I can find different fabric for it. Maybe if I find different fabric, I'll feel motivated to get back to it. But this is in a bag that I made. I love this fabric. I think I got it at like Joann's probably back in 2021. But I made it specifically. Did I make it for this pattern or was it for a different one? I think it was for this one because it's got an owl, right? Yeah, it's got the owl. Yeah, I made it for this project. So what do you guys think? Should I start over? I feel like I should. I think I should. Talking myself into it. Okay, so next is another Lindy Stitches. This is called Stars Bright. I purchased this when I was at StitchCon 2021 as my first StitchCon. I just think this pattern is beautiful. I love the colors in it. And the quote says, "We would be together and have our books, and at night be warm in our bed together with the windows open and the stars bright." I think that is gorgeous. So since I bought it while I was at StitchCon, I decided to just kit it up there while I was at StitchCon. I am using DMCs, and there's some not color and cotton, classic color works. There's some Gentle Arts, there's some Weeks Dye Works. So a little bit of everything here. Very colorful palette. I think I did change like a color or two because it wasn't showing up on the fabric. But let me show you this fabric because it's wild and I love it. This is a Jody fabric. Jody from the Steel City Stitchers used to dye fabric. I think she is starting to again. But there it is. I love it. I love it. I love it. I am a little worried. I remember I showed this on a WIP parade a long time ago, and somebody told me like, well, your fabric's not cut very straight, and they were worried that this, you know, as I brought this down, that my margin was going to be too small. It is getting a little tighter than it was up here, but I think it should be fine. So I really want to get back to this one too. You know what? I promised myself before I started my video, don't say, I really want to get back to this one. Like, duh, I want to get back to all of them. That's why they're in my WIP pile. So I'm not going to say that anymore. I did, as I was going through and ironing something, or ironing all the things for my WIP parade, I did UFO 5 things. So, you know, I'm not too precious about some things. Like if it's something that I know is not bringing me joy and I just don't want to stitch it anymore, I will UFO it. And that's the reason why I am primarily a top left starter, because sometimes I do change my mind about things, and that's okay to do, by the way. And I decide this is not working for me, and I will either just abandon the project or restart it on different fabric. But if I start in the top left corner, then it's easier for me to just, you know, if I don't feel like, if it's too much to like pick out or frog, then I can just kind of cut off that piece, and I didn't start in the middle and just ruin a whole piece of fabric. You know what I mean? So anyway, my next one is from Owl Forest Embroidery. This was a free pattern. I don't know if it still is. It's called 100 Owls. This was a restart for me, another restart. And I had started this on a different fabric. Well, I'd started it on a 32 count now that I'm remembering. And I didn't want to stitch it on a 32 count anymore because this is already a very large pattern. And it was going to be huge on 32. So I restarted it, I want to say in 2023. Yeah. I think I restarted it with my friend Allie Zia's Crafty on Flosstube and Instagram. And there's my restart. It's so cute. I am using all of the Owl Forest Embroidery floss. It's nice variegated floss. And the fabric I'm using is a 40 count pistachio by Atomic Ranch. So I love it. So I've got 5 owls done, 95 to go. It's so cute. I really had a thing for owls too. I still like owls, but like I was like obsessed with owls there for a hot minute. I feel like everybody had an owl phase. I could be wrong. So speaking of owls, look at this bag. This is one of my favorites. This was one of my mom's bags, or this is one of my mom's bags. Her shop is called Painted Leaf Co. And I love it so much. I love it. In fact, I was the one who found that fabric and said, hey, you need to buy that fabric and make some bags. It's perfect for my 100 owls. So I love it so much. All right. We're almost done with 2021. 2021 is going to be the fastest year. Okay. Next, I have, this one is another Owl Forest Embroidery. And let me show you that. It's called Alice in Wonderland. I don't have like the cover photo, but that's what it looks like. It's another big one. This was also a free chart. Oh, there's a needle here. Hold up. This was also a free chart on their website. Again, I don't know if it still is or not. You'd have to go check because this was back in 2021. But this is another one I started on 32 count, but I have too much done to do a restart for this one. So this one's going to stay on 32 count. And I love it so much. Let me show it to you. Look at it. It's so cute. Let me zoom in. I love the white rabbit. I've started stitching Alice down there. Oh, the colors are so good. I haven't floss dropped to these yet, but they're also the Owl Forest embroidery flosses. So they have beautiful variegation. And it's so cute. I love this one. So this is on 32 count straw from Weeks Dye Works. And that's what I've got. So yeah, I got too much of that one done to restart. And also too, because I am specifically using the floss from Owl Forest embroidery, I don't want to restart because then I'm afraid I wouldn't have enough floss. Even if I did restart, I would restart it on 40 count, but I'm not restarting it, so I'm just going to stop talking about it. This is in, oops, dropping the pattern here. This is in a bag made by me with some Alice in Wonderland fabric. Oh, gotta take this out because I can't show this to you. But yeah, I made that with some fabric that I got at Joann's. Okay, so that's it for 2021. I'm gonna put this back in my bag here. I'm gonna do a quick pause, grab another pile back here. They're very precarious, so I'm afraid I'm gonna have an avalanche at some point. And I'll come right back. Okay, I'm back. So 2021 is put away. Let's dive right into 2022. So my next project is called the Moonshine Cabin. This was a collaboration between Modern Folk Embroidery, Evertote, and Roxy Flosco, which used to be called Leo and Roxy. And so the design is from Modern Folk Embroidery. And I purchased this as a kit from Evertote. So it came with the pattern. It came with the Leo and Roxy floss, which again is just called Roxy Floss now. And the fabric as well. So let me put it on my board here and I'll show it to you. So this was one that I had not touched probably since since 2022. I started it one day and then I never touched it again. And I was like, I am not showing that again with just like 10 stitches done. So I pulled it out the other day and I put some more stitches in it. So there it is. Because before I just had like this little tiny triangle at the top of the house. So I was like, not this year, not this year. So there it is. And I really enjoyed working on it. This fabric is beautiful. The fabric is 40 count Night Owl from Roxy Flosco. And I love it. And I also, when I purchased this bag from Evertote as well. Little nutcracker bag. So there's my Moonshine Cabin. I do want to, nope, I'm not going to say it. I almost said it. All right. So putting that back in the bag. So I was really happy to have some progress on that. Doesn't it feel nice sometimes to pull out these WIPs that you haven't touched in years and just put some stitches in it? Okay. That was something I really liked about my goal this year, my 2024 goal. Okay, next I did work on this one a little bit this year. This is called Jenny Bean's Halloween Sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. It's so cute. I bought this when I was at Stitcher's Paradise in Vegas a couple years ago. Well, 2022. And it calls for these limited edition Gentle Arts colors. They have fun names. I've gone through the names before on my channel. I won't do it today just for the sake of time. But they have like spooky Halloween-y names. But it's also charted like in regular Gentle Arts. So if you bought it, you don't have to buy like the specific floss pack to go with it. They just happened to have it at the shop when I was there. Okay, here is my progress. I love it so much. This is on one of my favorite fabrics. This is called Grandpa's Sleeve by X2 Design. It is 40 count. I think it is perfect for this pattern. I did work a lot on this house this year. Maybe some letters, I don't know, but I definitely worked on the house. So yeah, there's my progress. I love that one. You'll see some more Jenny Bean starts. 2022 was the year of my Jenny Bean starts. I'm keeping that. There's not a tag on this one. I don't know who the maker for this one is. It's a cute patchwork bag though. So that lives in here. And I'm very much in the season stitcher, so it probably won't get touched again until next fall. That's just the kind of stitcher I am. All right, next, this one's so cute. They're all cute. This one is called The Little Dog by Cressetta Go-Go. I heard somebody say Cressetta Go-Go the other day, so that's what I'm gonna go with. It's so cute. I had to change it to look like my dog though, my dog Daisy. This was long before I had Lily. We just got Lily last year. If you've been here on my channel before, you've seen Lily and Daisy. But I had to change it to look like Daisy. And there it is. I never know whether I should go here or here. I'm gonna go over here. There it is. A little string here. Anyway, I don't remember what this fabric is. I know it's a 40 count. I have no idea what the color or who the dyer is. I am using all the called for colors, and it looks like they are all DMC colors. Well, of course, except for the ones that I changed for the dog. So other than that, I'm using all the called for. It's so cute. I need to finish it, and then I need to find a pattern that I could change to make it look like Lily. I'll need a Lily one too. And I'm keeping this in a Pepper Pot Shop bag. So the Pepper Pot Shop is an Etsy shop, and that's my sister Megan. And she makes really cute project bags too. I love the little paw print charm on there with all the little wiener dogs. So of course that's where my little dog stays. Okay. I love seeing all of these. Oh, I love watching WIP parades too, because it's just like when you see somebody who's stitching something that you have, it's like, oh, I want to pull that out and stitch on it. Or if they're stitching something that you really like and you wish you had, then you're like, I need to buy that. Okay, my next one is called Winter Rose Manor. Lots of people have stitched this. Lots of people are stitching it. It's a classic. It's from With Thy Needle and Thread. A big pink house. So cute. So like I said, I've had this as a WIP since 2022. And my friend Sarah, Handmade by Sarah W., she started it last year. And so we worked on it a little bit last year, and we're itching to pull this one back out soon. So I am going to keep this one out. But here's my progress. So I'm typically not someone who does the border first because I hate stitching borders. But look at me. I don't know what got into me, but I'm glad it did. Now, obviously, there's some things I've got to add to the border. I gotta do the flowers in the border. And there's some, what are those? Flowers? No, those look like berries. Gotta do the berries along the bottom. But it's a pretty good start. So I'm pretty pleased with that border start. But I cannot wait to get in there and stitch that big pink house. Sarah and I did change a couple of colors. I think. I know we were going to possibly change the color of the snow. I don't know that we did. But we did change the color of the house to this Roxy Floss color in Blush Crush, because we want our houses to be like pink, like show up. I think that's going to be pretty. So maybe we'll get to that this winter, since it's Winter Rose Manor. And oh, the fabric. This is actually a 36 count mystery fabric. I bought it from Keepsakes back in 2022. It didn't have a label on it, so we didn't know who the dyer was or what the color was. So it's a mystery, but it's perfect for this pattern. And I'm keeping this in a Painted Leaf Co. bag. one of the vinyl ones. I think this was that blackbird fabric too. Very pretty. A pink bag for a pink house, right? I appreciate you guys waiting on me to put all of my stuff away. We all know how important it is to be organized. Okay, now these next two. I'm probably gonna get some comments. It's okay. Actually, no. If you have a comment, that's not nice. Keep it to yourself. So these next two, I'm going to restart. And some of you are going to be like, why would you do that? Because I don't like the fabric, that's why. So the first one is Noel Sampler. This is with Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. And I'm using probably all the called for colors. Looks like it's all DMC. Okay. DMC colors, very pretty. So I have this started on a 40 count Tyco by Picture This Plus. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Oh, it's the dog hair floating around. I don't like it at all. I don't like this fabric for this piece. There's going to be white snowflakes. You're not going to be able to see those on here. Plus, like, the modeling is kind of like yellowy. I just don't like it. And that's why I don't want to stitch on it. Even though I love this pattern so much, and I hate that I stitched this much of it only to decide that I don't want to stitch on it anymore. So I'm going to find a different fabric and I'm going to restart it because I love this pattern. I don't know what I was thinking with this fabric choice. So that's the Noel Sampler. Yeah. You know, at least I did a top left start. So even though I started, you know, even though I stitched quite a bit, I can still cut it off from here and have this part to do something on, right? That's frustrating. I'm going to leave this one out so that I can choose a different fabric for it. That's so disappointing, but I haven't been happy with that fabric, and it was one of those things I just kept stitching on it. Like, oh, it'll be fine, just keep stitching. And the more I stitched, the more I was like, no, it's not fine. So this next one is stitched on the same fabric. For some reason, I was like, yeah, this fabric is great. Let's stitch everything on it. Oh, let me put this card back in here. So the next one is another Jenny Bean. It is Jenny Bean's Christmas Sampler. And again, I chose the same fabric, and I don't love it, but fortunately, I didn't stitch very much of it this time. So I don't feel so bad restarting this one because I have just the teeniest start on it. That's all I did. So that's a restart for sure. I am using all the called for, I believe. It looks like there's like Gentle Arts, Classic Colorworks, some DMCs. Yeah, very pretty colors. But I was watching somebody. I don't remember who. But they were stitching this. Maybe it was the Saltbox Stitcher. I could be wrong. But they were stitching this, and they were like, I'm going to leave off this whole bottom down here. And I was like, that's a great idea. Just leaving off the bottom. Now there are some alphabets like randomly put in here. You know, you can just take out those random letters and put in letters that are special to you, like your initials or something, and the year. But I think I want to do the same thing and just make that like a square piece. I like that idea. So yeah, I'm going to restart that one as well. What do you guys do when you don't like your fabric? Do you just keep going? Do you restart it? Do you just scrap the whole thing and get mad? I will restart something if I don't like it on the fabric I'm doing it on. I don't know what I did with the rest of that pattern. Oh, here it is. Never mind. If I don't like the fabric I'm doing it on, I have no problem restarting something. Do I waste a lot of time doing that? I sure do. But I end up with things that I like, so I'm not mad about it. Okay. I'm also a frogger. Some people are more fudgers. Not me. I just can't. I wish I could. All right. Here's another Jenny Bean. This one's called Jenny Bean's Friendship Sampler. It's so cute. Sorry for the glare. It's so cute. It says, tell me, ye knowing and discerning few, where I may find a friend both firm and true. I love it. So, fortunately, I'm not stitching this one on Tyco. I don't think I am. No. I don't know why. That Tyco is not working for me. I'm stitching this one on 40 count Atomic Ranch in the color Vanilla Cream. And there's my little start. So I need to pull that one out and work on it some more. Here are the colors. Here we are. Looks like it's a mix of Gentle Arts. A lot of Gentle Arts. Maybe it's all Gentle Arts. It's all Gentle Arts, yeah. Here are the colors. That one's gonna be pretty. I like me a Jenny Bean pattern. And I'm keeping that in this bag. I wanna say this bag is from Sheba Designs. It's got the little dogs. I love me a dog bag because I like dogs. So that one's cute. A lot of these that I'm showing have not been touched probably since 2022 when I started them, which is very sad. Let's set that one out. Okay. Especially this one. I really like this one too. I eyed this for a while before I finally bought it. It is called For the Love of Nature by Teresa Kogut. I'm sure you've seen this one. It is gorgeous. I love that giant deer. And he's like kissing the squirrel. You've got the fox down there. And the raccoon. It's so cute. And the jumping bunny. I love this one so much. So I have a very small start on this one. I'm stitching this one on 40 count parchment from Fiber on a Whim using all the called for colors. That's my start. I need to stitch some animals. I guess the bird's an animal, but I want to stitch the other animals. So I need to work my way down to the animals. And of course, I'm keeping this in a For the Love of Nature bag. This one's from the 805 Stitcher. So cute. My bag matches my pattern. I try to match my bags sometimes to my patterns, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Do you guys try to do that too? Looks like the colors are like Weeks Dye Works, DMC's Classic Color Works. All right. Oh, this next one is very colorful. I started this next one at the 2022 StitchCon with my friends. The cover photo does not do it justice. The model was gorgeous, gorgeous. This is called Meditation Garden by Jan Hicks Creates. Like I said, that picture, okay. The model was so gorgeous. First of all, let me just show you the colors, okay? Sorry, they're all kind of messy. They've been in a bag. But here are the colors. I'm pretty sure it's all DMC. I think it might be charted in silks, but I used the DMC. They're beautiful. And I'm stitching this on a 36 count sea glass. Looks like 32 count. 36 count sea glass by Fortnite Fabrics. They don't dye fabric anymore, but there we are. one thing I really love about this pattern is that the border is just constantly changing. So this is one where you don't get bored doing the border. So that's why I was starting with the border. It's so cute. Let me get the pattern. See how much more vibrant it is than it is on the picture? So I need to get back to, I said I wasn't gonna say that. Some of my friends finished it. So like I said, we had started it at StitchCon together, and some of them finished it and brought it back to StitchCon in 2023 to share their finishes. Obviously, I was not one of those people. Very jealous, but you know, they put the work in. And I'm keeping that in this beautiful, colorful bag from Michelle Lee Quilts. She's on Etsy, go check her out. And there we go. Gotta have a colorful bag for a colorful project. That one's a really fun one. Okay, next, and I think for 2022, I had 15 WIPs. So, all right, the next one is called Summer Refreshes by Summer House Stitchworks. Got to meet that designer at Stitch Away last year. I have another one from her that was the retreat exclusive last year, so I can't wait to show that to you. But I am stitching this in Classic Colorworks Belle Soise. I chose colors that looked like the colors in the photo. And the colors I chose were Blue Heaven, 3 Alarm Fire, and Beanstalk. So those are my colors. And here is my progress. So I'm stitching this on a 40 count Ophelia by Color and Cotton. I did finish Winter Cometh, which was so this is a seasonal series. So I finished Winter Cometh last year. I had actually brought that to the retreat, to the Stitch Away retreat, not knowing that the designer was going to be the guest designer for the retreat. So that was really cool. I got that finished while I was there, and I was able to get a picture with the designer with my finish. So I really thought that was cool. And I'm keeping that in this beautiful bag here from Wild Berry Stitching. Her bags are so pretty too. Thought this was a very summery looking bag for my summer refreshes. Very cute. All right, this next one was my birthday start in 2022. It is called Night Walk Down by the Blue Flower. And here are the flosses. I'm keeping it on this, what were these things called? I forget. It's from That's So Kelly. I got it in a Black Needle Society box. And here are all my colors. I'm using all the called for, but I changed a couple of colors to suit what I wanted. But I'm stitching this on a 40 count Jamie's Kilt by Fabrics by Stephanie. Most beautiful fabric ever. Oh, there it is. My friend Allison used this fabric for Huckleberry Farm and it looked dreamy. But here's Night Walk Down. I love this. Look at the modeling on this fabric. Isn't it fantastic? So it's very moody, very purpley, greeny, gray. So there's my start. Not much of one. I did work on this on my birthday this year. And my friend Sarah, Handmade by Sarah W., she also started it and worked on it with me. That one's so cute. Okay, I'm keeping that in this bag. Oh, this is another one by the 805 Stitcher. I love those ladies. And I love the blue flowers. That's she's one of my favorite designers, Janine McGowan. She charts a lot of animals. I love stitching animals. Oops. Okay. Making sure I don't forget anything here. All right, my next 2022 WIP is called Live on Little by Plum Street Samplers. This is one that I did restart because I didn't like the fabric I was stitching it on. I think I had started it on, it's either a 36 or a 32 count, and the color was all wrong. Not to mention that I like stitching with one thread. So I changed it. I'm now stitching this on a 46 count Dirt Track by Fox and Rabbit. Oh, so good. I love Dirt Track so much. Isn't that gorgeous? I am so pleased with that restart. I had started it, I want to say on the called for. Yeah, the called for is 36 count hog bristle. And for me, sometimes 36 count is difficult because I like really good coverage. And so I struggle with, do I use one strand or two? And it really, for me, depends on what kind of look I want and the fabric itself. And so on that fabric, I thought that the coverage with one strand was a little too sparse, but then when I was doing two strands, it was looking too chunky, and it just wasn't good. And I didn't really love the color of the fabric. So I'm very pleased that I decided to restart this one. And that's what I've got. Very cute. I am using all the called for colors, and I have them on these floss drops that were made for me by Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher. She also made a little thread bling there. Cute. See, that's why I like to restart things, because you want to like what you're stitching. I don't want to just be like, well, it's okay. I'm keeping that in this cute bag. This sea creature, well, I guess there are sea creatures on here. Bag from the Pampered Needle. Let me show it to you. I like these guys. This guy's smoking a pipe down here. And the little sea creatures floating around. That's a cute one. I like all my bags. That's another fun part of being a stitcher, is collecting all the bags to go with your projects. All right, this next one is called Spring Moon, also by Plum Street Samplers. And I am stitching this on the called for fabric. I'm stitching it on, well, the called for is a 36 count, but I purchased a 40 count Baked Clay by Fox and Rabbit, which looks a lot darker than the cover photo. I'll show it to you. There we are. That's all I've got. I started on that basket on top of the house there. See how much darker the fabric looks than in the picture? That's going to be fantastic. Pretty sure I'm using all the called for again. Those colors look really nice on that. That white is going to pop on that fabric. You can see as I go through, I use a lot of Fox and Rabbit fabrics. I also use a lot of XG Design. You'll probably see more of that fabric here shortly. Those are like my two favorite fabric dyers. And like I said, I really love stitching on 40 count because I just love the coverage of the one strand on the 40 count. Okay. And I'm keeping that in this cute little bag from So Much to Love. I used to be in their Bag of the Month Club. Cute. It's got that Teresa Kogut fabric on there. All right, next. This is from Annie B's Folk Art. It's called Love Always. It's just this cute little pink and red house. I think this will be perfect for a Valentine's Day. So I'm stitching this. I didn't have any notes about what the fabric is, but I think this is Silver Fox by Fiber on a Whim. It looks like Silver Fox to me, and it's most likely a 40 count. That's what I've got. Here are the colors. Looks like I'm using the called for. Got my Top Knot Stitcher floss drops here. So that, excuse me, that one would be a pretty quick finish if I just got back to it. Maybe I'll pull that out in February to work on. And I'm keeping that in a bag from Painted Leaf Co. A Valentine's bag, so I guess I was looking at that as like a Valentine's stitch. So cute. All right, next, okay, so this was a stitch along I did with some of my friends, and I did not get very far. I did have to end up frogging some things out in this one because I made some mistakes, but it is called Things Unseen by Lizzie Kate. I'll go in a little bit closer there for you. And it says, the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. And I'm pretty sure that is a quote by Helen Keller. So the pattern comes in 3 parts. So you have to buy all 3 parts to get the whole chart. Oh, yeah. There's Helen Keller. So you have to buy all 3 of the charts to stitch the whole thing. Because I think it was like a mystery sale at the time. And there is a little button pack that you can purchase because it has buttons, places on the pattern where there's buttons. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Wren from Picture This Plus. So I am stitching this 2 over 2. I'm not going to restart this one. I know I don't love stitching with 2 strands over 2, but I just don't want to restart it. I think it looks great on this fabric. The fabric color is perfect, so this one's going to stay on this. And I am using all the called for floss. It looks like it's All Weeks Dye Works. There we go. There's the colors. So there we are, Things Unseen. All right. And I'm keeping that in this bag. Another So Much to Love bag. I thought the flowers were very pretty for this one. I think that's my only Lizzie Kate that I've ever started or stitched, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I've ever stitched another Lizzie Kate. Now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, don't want to forget to put the buttons back in there. Okay. All right, I think I'm down to my last 2022 WIP, and then we can start on 2023. All right, trying to go like fast, but not too fast. Hopefully my pacing is just right. All right, so the next one is called You Melt My Heart. It's another one by Annie B's Folk Art. And I love that there's 2 parts. So you have this big snowman up here, but then you got this little tree down here that you can stitch as well. I just think this is adorable. My only problem is that I hate stitching with white, which is a problem because there's a lot of white in this one. And I'm stitching this on some fabric that I dyed myself. I want to say it's like a 32 or a 36 count, probably a 36 because it looks like I'm using 1 strand of floss. However, it could be a 32 that shrunk in the dyeing process. I don't know. I don't know, but there it is. Because I wanted the color to be the same. I think I did a good job with the color. This would be another good one to keep out, you know, for some winter stitching. So there's my start on that one. And it looks like I'm using all the called for. There's some Classic Colorworks, some Weeks Dye Works, some DMCs. Very pretty wintry colors. So I am stitching the snowman. I don't know if I'll stitch that little tree too or not. Guess we'll wait and see. And this one is in another Painted Leaf Co. bag, another Valentine's bag. And it looks like this. Very cute. And those were my 2022 WIPs. So let me pause. Let me put those away. Let me get out 2023. We're getting there. As you can see, the piles behind me are dwindling. So that's good. Okay, let's get started with 2023. My first WIP to show you for 2023 is, I started this at the end of 2023 with my friend Sarah, handmade by Sarah W. This is called Dasher and Dancer by Hobby House Press. It is a beautiful monochromatic Quaker Christmas piece. I'm stitching mine on 46 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. And I am using a Roxy Floss color, Roxy Floss in the color Cabernet. So let me show it to you. Put it on my board here. I actually pulled this out and worked on it a little bit the other night. So it has recent progress. There it is. So that Cabernet is the exact same color as Cabernet. And it's just beautiful, so rich on this Cream and Sugar. So I've got quite a ways to go still, but that's my progress so far. I was bringing the letters over. I was extending this border, extended this border. I've worked on these letters a little bit, so I was kind of working in this area right here. But I definitely want to get to that deer, both of those deer and the tree in the middle. I'm a little bit dreading that bottom band across the bottom there. I should probably get working on that and don't save that for the last. Because that's what I tend to do sometimes. I save the parts that I don't like for last and then I don't want to stitch them. All right. And that lives in this Painted Leaf Co. bag that my mom made this year. I thought this would be perfect for Dasher and Dancer. It's got the dark red color and the deer. So cute. So I thought that would be perfect for this project. So I definitely want to make some more progress on that one too before winter is over. Even though I said I wasn't going to say that. That's the thing about me. Once I say that I want to do something, I'm not going to do it. That's why I'm trying not to say that. Okay, now this one, obviously I started it in 2023. And this year I had decided I'm just going to UFO that. Like, it's big. I'm probably not going to get to it. And then my friend Karen has been working on this, and hers is stunning. And I really felt motivated to put it back in the rotation when I saw that she was changing some of the colors. And I was like, duh, you can change some of the colors. Let me show you what it is. This is the Halloween sampler. It's from the Hello Halloween book by Teresa Kogut. And here's the sampler. This is what I started. It's giant. I didn't love all the colors. And once I saw that Karen was changing some of the colors, I was like, I'm going to change the colors too. And once I pulled out some other colors, I was like, you know what? I could do this. So I did not get to put any stitches in it this year, but I am going to keep it in my WIP rotation, and hopefully I will put some more stitches in it. I'm stitching this on a 40 count Buttermilk by Fiber on a Whim. As you can see, I have the smallest little start. I got part of the border and a cat. But I'm excited about my color palette. So I'm not positive that I'm going to use these colors or if I'm going to use them all, but they're mostly Roxy Floss Co. colors. And I think they'll look great. This one, I don't know if you can see, but this one's like a purpley color. some greens, some oranges, like a gold color. So I think with my color changes that this could work for me. So I'm going to keep it in the WIP rotation and hopefully get some work in on it throughout the year. And I'm keeping that in another So Much to Love bag from my monthly bag of the month club. That was a fun club too. Just get a bag every month and see what you get. So yeah, that one's going to stay in the WIP rotation. Because Karen was very sad when I told her I was going to UFO it. We'll give it another chance. Okay. All right, this next one did get some love this year. This was my birthday start in 2023. It is called 3 Things Sampler by Moira Blackburn. It's beautiful. It's large. And yeah, I worked on it some this year. In fact, I decided that I was not going to do a birthday start this year because I had neglected my past birthday starts. I've never finished a birthday start. Isn't that sad? I finish a lot of things, just not birthday starts apparently. So I was like, you know what? You're not starting any new birthday starts until you finish your old ones. So I did work on this one a little bit this year. Let me show it to you. Here it is. I am stitching this with all of the DMC colors. There they are. And this is being stitched on a 46 count fabric called Rocky Mountain by Extra Design. And it's so pretty. So I almost have, excuse me, I believe this is one whole page finish here. This is page 2, this is page 3. So it would be nice to get 3 pages finished or more. But I almost got 3 pages finished, so that's pretty good because my start had been pretty small. So I did give this one some love this year. I'm going to move it in closer so you can see it. So pretty. I feel like my light is making things a little dark, but it's very dark and gloomy outside today. It's been raining a lot. So I don't have a lot of natural light. I've got all the lights on in this room and a ring light over there, but I still feel like we're having some shadows. So I apologize if you can't see things as clearly as you would like to. It is what it is, right? I'm keeping this in a special bag that was made for me by my friend Michelle. Beautiful patchwork bag that she made for me. So I thought I'd keep my special project in my special bag from Michelle. Okay. Make sure I get everything here. Okay, this next one is a fun one. I was inspired by a Flosstuber that I saw doing this, and let me show you the pattern first. So it's from this book, A Heart Remembers, and it's this down here. So what I saw, and I really, really wish I could remember, I tried my best to remember who the Instagrammer was. I cannot remember her account, so if you're watching, let me know. But she had stitched part of this, and she chose all of her own colors, which, like, you know, you see people choose their own colors all the time. But she, like, went rogue with the colors. Like, she really, like, had fun, like, choosing colors. I was like, I'm going to do the same thing. Which the colors in here are already pretty vibrant and beautiful. But I decided I'm going to stitch these 2 here. So this house, which I believe the Instagrammer did as well. Maybe she did a little bit more, but I'm doing this section here with the house. You can see they're all stitched on different fabrics and put together. I'm stitching mine on one fabric, and I'm stitching this house and this saying right here. And I think since it just kind of cuts off here, I might grab this border over here and just put it along the edge here to kind of like block it in, have a border all the way around, if you know what I mean. And the verse says, I cannot count my day complete till needle, thread, and fabric meet. But I was just really inspired by this Instagrammer's bold color choices. And I was like, I want to do that too. Now, this is probably not something I'll put in my living room or in any shared spaces, but I'll probably put it up here in my craft room or in my reading room, because that's where I kind of put my other things that might not go with the rest of my house decor. But here we are. What I did was I just kind of put together a floss ring of like colors that I think are so fun and beautiful that you probably wouldn't normally see in like a blackbird, right? So, and I'm just kind of picking and choosing as I go along, and I think it's turning out really good so far. I don't know if you can see it, but these grapes here are those Algerian islets. Oh, I love them so much. I love stitching those. But that's what I've got so far. I'm thinking it's turning out very cute. I'm stitching this on 40 count pearl by Mystic Fabric. I love this fabric. And I can't wait to see how the rest of it unfolds. I'm just kind of picking and choosing colors as I go. And so it's just kind of fun to be like, okay, what color is going to go there? I don't know. And I've got lots more of this fabric, so I can use it for other things. It's a good, like, good color for like winter stitching. And I'm keeping this in this bag from Starry Owl Stitchery. Again, I thought I'd have a colorful, funky bag for a colorful, funky pattern. And if I remember who that Instagrammer was, I will let you know. Oh, I was hoping maybe I had written it down, but I had not. Bummer, because her finish of it was just so pretty. Oh, don't want to forget to put my card back in. Trying to stay organized. Okay, this next one was one I started last December. It is called The Light of Winter. It came out last year, I'm pretty sure, by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. It's so cute. I think it's a companion piece to Winter Rose Manor, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. So I'm stitching this on 40 count Bria by Needle and Flax, using all the called for colors, and that's where I got. So I did do the outline of the border, and you can see I'm kind of stitching the border and going back and forth between the other motifs as well. So that's what I've got so far. I think this fabric is great for this one. And I'm probably using all the called for. I've got Weeks Dye Works here, and got some DMCs, Gentle Arts. So very pretty. My friend Sarah, Handmade by Sarah W., she finished it last year. And hers looks amazing. And I'm keeping that in this Painted Leaf Co. bag. I believe this is Teresa Kogut fabric too. So I thought this was cute for that project. Goes with the colors. Okay. I'm really, really hoping as I go through this pile that I find my missing WIP. Fingers crossed. Because otherwise I have no idea where it is. And that's not like me. I'm a very organized person, so to be missing a WIP is very strange for me. All right, this next one is called Oh Dear by It's So Emma. And I guess it was part of the Stitch Quarterly box from Fat Quarter Shop or something. But I found this on the freebie table when I was at the 141 Pep Rally retreat last year. And it's so cute, like a little vintage Rudolph. And so I'm stitching mine on a 36 count Winterbrook by Under the Sea. It's an opalescent, so it's sparkly. I don't know if you'll be able to see the sparkles, but there it is. just have part of his ear. I am using all of the called for DMCs. And I'm doing 2/2 because I want that to be really, really saturated stitching colors. So, and I did, when I was at the 141 retreat this year, somebody had put Mrs. Claus, is like the companion to this. Like, there's a Santa, there's a Mrs. Claus, and then there's Rudolph. I had picked up Mrs. Claus, and so I definitely have enough fabric to do Mrs. Claus too. I don't know if I'll have enough to do Santa, if I ever get the Santa pattern, but one character at a time here. Gotta finish the Rudolph first, right? Keeping that in this cute bag from Mila's Sweet Makes on Etsy. I'm not sure if she still is putting bags out or not, but this one's really cute. Okay. All right, next, another Christmas one. This one is called Peppermint Candy by Lindy Stitches. It's super cute. It says peppermint candy, gingerbread spice. Christmas means everything nice. I like all the cute little motifs. The little bunny wearing the sweater, he's cute. The cat with a present on his back, the leaping deer. I even like the goose, even though I don't like geese in real life. There's some really mean geese in my neighborhood. Don't want to walk past them, they'll attack you. Okay, I'm stitching this on 40 count brick powder by XG Design, using all the called for. So the called for is a mix of like Forbidden Fiber Co., Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and I've got a couple of DMCs in here. Oh, it's like storming outside. So there we are. Got a little start on it. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that wind. It's a little nasty out there. Glad I'm in here. Been enjoying my winter break. If you're new here, I'm a teacher. I'm a 4th grade teacher. And so it has been really nice just having this time to refresh and relax and have some stitchy time, have time to do this. This would not be happening during the school year or like a work week, that's for sure. All right, and this lives in this adorable bag. I think this is another one by Michelle Lee Quilts. Let me put all my stuff back in. She makes such cute quilted bags. Yes, handmade by Michelle Lee Quilts. I think I got this one at the retreat at the 141 Pep Rally last year too. Okay, this next one is my one and only Hands Across the Sea pattern that I have started. It is called Amanda Malviny Brown, 1844. I just love those vibrant colors. And the quote says, "How does the little busy bee improve each shining hour and gather honey all the day from every opening flower?" Very cute. So I'm stitching this one on a 36 count Dirty Teacup by Needle and Flax. And it looks like I'm using all DMC colors. I think it's charted in like different, I think there's like, you got 103s, you got Soie d'Alger, DMC. So I chose the DMC. And it looks like I'm stitching 1/2. Like I said, sometimes I'll stitch 2/2 on 36, just depending on the saturation of the colors that I want. But there we go. I love the reds. I love the blues. Here are the colors. I just love the vibrant colors in this. So that's what I've got so far. I've almost got the border all the way across the top there. kind of a big piece. What are the... Just trying to look for the stitch count, but I'm not seeing it on here. Oh well. Ooh. It is yucky outside. My doggies are looking at me like, don't take us out in that. The girls are in here in the room with me, my puppy girls. All right, I'm keeping that in this bag from Starry Owl Stitchery. That's so pretty. Love those colors. Oh, and I like how the inside has strawberries. How pretty is that? I love a pretty project bag. Okay. All right. Speaking of every opening flower, like in the quote just now. Oh, I just dropped my card. Oh, well. This next one is Every Opening Flower by With Thy Needle and Thread. So many people have stitched this one too. It's beautiful. I'm stitching this, let's see, my card's on the floor over there. I'm stitching this on a 46 count Thorn Field by Needle and Flax. And I'm probably using all the called for colors. I've got some Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works, Gentle Arts. Here we are. That's what I've got so far. Not a lot. This is another one that has Algerian eyelets. They're inside these little like squares. I love stitching an Algerian eyelet. I don't know why. They just look so cool. That fabric is so good. I love the modeling in this. So that's my Every Opening Flower. Small start on that one. And I'm keeping this in, I think this is a Buckleberry Quilts bag. It doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure it is. That's so pretty. Oh yes, it has the tag on the inside. Yes, Buckleberry Quilts. Okay. My next one is another Lindy Stitches. Oh, I love the colors in this one. It's called Little Brown Bird. And it says, Little brown bird with breast of red, fly back to me, for winter is dead. So that's a great one for the coming of spring. Pretty sure, yes, I am stitching this on the called for linen. It does call for a 32 count, but I'm stitching it on a 40 count. The color is Sea Spray, and it is by Seraphim. And I believe I'm using all the called for colors. Here is my start. Oh, look at that fabric. Oh, it's so good. The modeling is fantastic. Here are my colors. They're a mess, but there's my start. So that's what I've got on that. I love this one. I had a lot of fun just like going back through my WIPs and being like, okay, am I really gonna stitch this one? Should it stay in the rotation? And sometimes when you see these, it's like visiting an old friend, and I'm keeping this in this beautiful bag with the beautiful birds on it. This is another Painted Leaf Co. bag. So cute. Oh, look at the inside fabric. I thought that was good for this one too. Okay. All right, I'm getting a little nervous. We're getting down in the pile, and I'm still not seeing that one I'm missing. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I can't find it. It's gotta be in this room. Anyway, all right, next I have, this one's called We're All Mad Here by Pine Mountain Designs. Oh, that's very bad. There we go. It's an Alice in Wonderland themed pattern, and you can't hardly see it, but in blue letters here, it says we're all mad here. I'm stitching this. Okay, so here's the problem. I don't know who the dyer is. I know what the color is called because it was labeled. This color is 40 count Mayflower Gray. But I have no idea who the dyer is because it wasn't labeled. I'm pretty sure I got this from Kitten Stitcher. And it looks to me like I'm using all DMC, but it looks to me like I threw in a couple Roxy Floss colors too. I think I wanted to punch up the purples in the Cheshire Cat. So that's my start. I think this fabric color is great. I don't love the fabric itself. It's very thin. But the color is great. So if anybody happens to know who dyes Mayflower Gray, let me know so I can write it down on my card. Because I have no idea. But that's my start so far. I do like Alice in Wonderland. I love like fairy tales. I would love to stitch like a Little Red Riding Hood themed one. I did UFO the Frosted Pumpkin Little Red Riding Hood Sal. It just wasn't speaking to me. But there are other Little Red Riding Hoods that I've seen out there, so I might have to start one at some point. Maybe one day if I have grandchildren, not anytime soon. But I'll stitch them some fairy tale themed things. It's kind of crazy. Kids these days don't really know fairy tales as much as like in our day. I know this because I'm a teacher and I'm like, do you guys know the story of blah, blah, blah? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, never mind. And this is in a beautiful Alice in Wonderland themed bag from Como Stitches from Jess. So cute. All right, this next one is such a small start. It's such a shame. This one's also on that 46 count Thornfield by Needle and Flax. Like the every opening flower one. So, oh, let me show you the pattern first. It's called Remember Me by Teresa Kogut. It's beautiful. It says, when this you see, remember me. And then it's got the alphabet at the bottom there. I just think that's so sweet. So yeah, like I said, I'm stitching this on a 46 count Thornfield by Needle and Flax. And looks like I'm using all DMC colors. And here we are. Oops. That's all I've got done. There's a string hanging on here. I just started in that house and that was it. That's all I got done. So I probably started it one day and then never touched it again, but I'm keeping it in the rotation because I would like to work on this some more. So I just think that one's so sweet. And I'm keeping that in this 805 Stitcher bag. Okay. All right, next, also another small start from Teresa Kogut. This was a Kitten Stitcher exclusive from January of 2023. It is called Big Folk Flower. I know I've said it before, but those birds look like wiener dogs to me. Oh, I just think this is so pretty. I love the darkness of the pattern. I am stitching it with the called for. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm stitching it with the called for fabric. In fact, I believe I got this. I got the fabric at the same time as I got the pattern. The fabric, it looks different than it does in the picture. The fabric is 40 count dark mocha by XJU Design. I just have a small start. I was stitching one of the leaves there. And it looks like I'm using Weeks Dye Works and DMC colors. And that's all I've got. I think in 2023, I did have a lot of starts that year, like a significant amount of starts. So I think there were several things that I started one day and then just didn't touch again, which is a shame. I did much better about that in 2024. I don't think I had anything that I just like started one day and then never worked on again. And I'm keeping those in this bag. Who is this bag from? Oh, it's another Wildberry stitching with the little foxes. All right, this is another blue flower design. This is called Forest Home. Another design with animals that I love. Janine is really great at charting animals. I love this deer right here. Looks like we've got an owl up there. Was that a chipmunk? Some birds. Got a little beaver in the other corner there. So pretty. I started at the most boring part. I started up here with the trees and the waterfall. That's probably why I lost interest. I am stitching this on, what is this fabric? 40 count silver lining by Seraphim, which is very interesting because this fabric does not look silver to me at all. Maybe it does in the camera, but to me, like, it looks more greeny browny. Just poke myself in the eye. And that's my small start. So maybe if I came down the side and got down to that little beaver, maybe I would be more excited about it. That's the bad thing of just like having a place where you start. Sometimes the place where you start is really boring and then you get tired of it and you don't want to stitch on it anymore. But I am going to keep this in the rotation because I do think this is one that I do want to work on some more. Oh, and the thing says, our roots are in the depths of the woods. I hope you don't mind that I read all the things to you. But that's part of what I like about these things are the sayings too. Like I don't just choose, like I have to like the saying and the design. Okay. This is in another Painted Leaf Co. bag. I love that. The beautiful flowers, the bees buzzing around. All right, we're getting close here. Okay, next I have Blackberry House. I worked on this a few times with my friend Sarah, Handmade by Sarah W. in the past year. She started it. It was already a WIP for me. That seems to be a theme for us. She'll be like, I really want to start blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, I already have that as a WIP. And then we work on it together. So here is my Blackberry House. This is on a 46 count pewter by Color and Cotton. Oh, I love it so much. I am using all the called for colors with the exception of I changed the gray to, oops, this Roxy Floss in the color Irony, because the color that was called for, and I want to say the color that's called for in that place is aged pewter. I could be wrong, but it was not showing up on my fabric, so I had to change that color to something a little darker. And I think it's working out. I think it's also the same color as the urn down here. I love this color right here. I forget what it is. Oh, let me look. It's right here. That color is Current by Gentle Arts. Oh my gosh, that is such a good color. I love it. So there's Blackberry House. I did set myself up for some fill-in on that urn there. I did do all the, I don't know if you can see it, I did all the white outlining in it so that I could just go back through and do the fill-ins. So that would be some great retreat stitching to take with me. This is in a bag from Michelle Lee Quilts. Another beautiful patchwork bag from her. got a lot of your bags, Michelle. Not mad about it. Okay. I feel like 2023 was also like the year of samplers. I feel like I've seen a lot of samplers in 2023. Here's another one. This is called At Home by Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread. And it is it says a brick house on stepped terrace flanked by trees, so commonly seen on 19th century Frederick County, Maryland samplers. So it's very specific to that area. And the quote says, "For genuine happiness, we need not roam. 'Tis doubtless found with little and at home." That's a great quote. Oh, that's so good. I'm stitching this on 46 count Old Mushroom by XG Design, which is a really great fabric. And let me show you my progress. I started up top left corner on that border. That's all I got. Again, probably just a one-day start. Here are my colors. I love this blue. It's like a greenish blue. What color is that? That is Cadet by Weeks Dye Works. Beautiful colors. So that was At Home. And of course I'm keeping that in a bag that has little shops and houses on it from Painted Leaf Co. Oh, look at those trees and cardinals. So pretty. Okay, so this next one, I may UFO this one. You can help me out here. Help me decide if I'm UFOing this. This next one is the Love Boats sampler by Ardith Design. A lot of people have stitched this. The colors are beautiful. It is charted in color and cotton. I recharted it to DMC. I forget what this fabric color is called. It's from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. It was one of my fabric of the months. That's what I've got. Here are the colors. Oh, they're a mess. I just don't know. I don't know if I'm still feeling it, or if it should just come out of the WIP rotation. I think I'll leave it in for now, but it might go away at some point. If I still feel that way when I do my WIP parade next year, then I'll just go ahead and take it out. But for right now, it's not hurting anybody sitting here in my stash. So I'm just gonna hold on to it for now. Keeping this in this little tiny bag. Where did I get this bag? Oh, I know where I got this from. Made by Rachel on Etsy. Cute little rainbow bag. All right, this next one is from Nitka, which is Barbara Anna. I guess like she did it like as a collaboration with Nitka. I'm not quite sure how that works. But I got it through Barbara Anna. It's called Madame Butterfly. I got it as a PDF. I love those colors. They're all DMC colors, it looks like. I'm stitching this on a Forbidden Fiber Co. fabric in the color Dovetail. I'm not loving my fabric choice, but this isn't a piece that I just like love so much that I'm like that it has to be perfect, so I'm not going to restart this one. I do want to finish it though. I am stitching it 2/2 because I want the colors to be really vibrant. And I'm using all the DMC colors, so there they are. I would like to finish this one though. It's really pretty and it's really fun to stitch. Come in a little closer. I liked the contrast with the fabric being kind of dark and moody and the colors being so vibrant, but I don't know if maybe this was the best fabric. I think the modeling of it, maybe I should have chosen something a little more subtle. I think the modeling kind of competes with the colors. I think I'm thinking too much about it, possibly. Sometimes I happen to overthink some things. So that's going back in this bag from Painted Leaf Co. Very colorful teacup bag. So cute. I like the little teacup charm. All right, next, this is my only 56 count project. I got 56 counts because I went to the attic in Arizona, and a lot of their models are stitched on 56, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a 56 while I'm here. And the pattern that I got while I was there too is called Matter's Choice by Carriage House Samplings. It's this beautiful monochromatic piece. And I figured if I'm gonna do a 56 count, let's do a monochromatic piece so that I can focus on the stitches and not so much changing out the colors. So the color fabric I chose is called Ragamuffin by Tabby Cat Linen. There it is. Look at that modeling. Oh my gosh. And I got the silk from Gloriana Threads in the color Aubergine. It's a Tudor silk. It's very fine. It's like a really dark purple. In fact, the modeling on here is like a really dark purple. It's coming across like black. That's all I've got, because it is really hard to see those teeny tiny stitches, and I have to do it in very good light, like sitting outside in the sunlight. So I haven't made a whole lot of progress on that one. I don't think I'll be doing any other 56 counts. Like, that's just, it's too hard for me. Too hard for me. Stay in my lane. I'm keeping this in this beautiful moth bag from Vintage Owl Lady on Etsy. All right, and I think I'm down to my last 2023 WIP, and I'm hoping my other WIP is in this keeper down here. Everybody cross your fingers, because I'm gonna be really sad if it's not. Okay, so let's start with this one. This is Little Pink Houses by Annie B's Folk Art. I think it's so cute. The weird thing is I'm stitching mine with all the called for colors. So look at the colors of the houses on here. And also it's very interesting when I look at it closely, it looks like the X's inside of the house are stitched over 4 rather than 2. I don't know if you can see that. Now look at the color of mine. I'm using the called for. My house is a very different color. I did not stitch over 4. I did regular stitches. What in the world? Also, I don't know why, but my stitches on here in this house look terrible. And I just don't like the color. I'm gonna rip out the color in the house. I don't like it. And I don't want to just not do this pattern because I think it's so cute. So I'm gonna rip out I'm gonna frog the house. I'm gonna change the color to something else. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm stitching this on a 40 count Silver Moon by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. And I think the fabric is perfect. So I'm going to change that house. I need to pick a different color. So I'm going to leave this one sitting out so that I can change the fabric. Okay. Here's the moment of truth. Here's my keeper. I do feel like something else is in here. Okay, let me put this one away first, and then I'll check the other side. I think it's in here, though. Oh, I'm feeling so much relief right now. Okay. It's in here. Oh my gosh. I had all my stuff ironed and I was like, where is that pattern? Where is that stitch? I did not see that. It was in here. I had 2 projects in here. In fact, I'm going to set this one aside and I'm going to give that other one its own bag so that I never lose it again. Oops. This one, I love this one so much. It's called the Bertha May Brown Sampler by Chessie and Me. It's so cute. And I know I had gotten this as an exclusive, I want to say through Country Sampler. I don't know if it's readily available to the public. It came as a kit. Sorry, this one's not ironed. But what is this fabric? I'm assuming they sent me the called for fabric. The called for fabric is 36 count old gold linen by Fiber on a Whim. And like I said, it came as a kit. So it came with the floss, it came with the fabric, it came with the pattern. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm so happy that I found it. It looks like it uses Classic Color Works, Weeks Dye Works, and Gentle Arts. Oh, I'm so glad I found this. I was so worried. I had a feeling it was in that keeper. I'm glad I was right. So there we are. So I'm working on that alphabet. In the middle here, it says Bertha May Brown. I'm going to change that probably to my name. But there it is. All right, so that was my last WIP of 2023. My goodness, this is a long video. Let me pause, let me put these away. Let's get to 2024. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's talk about 2024. All right, my first 2024, I gotta show you here's the bad thing, because I started using an iPad this year. I got one for my birthday, and some of these are on my iPad, especially if they're PDFs. So this first one is a PDF. It was from the Jingle Ball. It was the Stacy Nash Gingerbread House Sewing Book. It was one of the classes that was offered. I have not finished mine. In fact, I'm going to just not clip these anymore. That'll save me some time because this video is getting very long. There it is, my gingerbread house. I'm stitching this on 40 count Up in the Attic by Fox and Rabbit, and I'm using all the called for floss. So this is the front of the house. I haven't even started the back of the house, but that's what I've got so far. My friend Sarah finished hers. It's amazing. I cannot wait for you guys to see her finish. I'm keeping this in a Painted Leaf Co. bag. So cute. I need a bag that has gingerbread houses on it, now that I'm thinking about it. All right. All right, my next one, I'm gonna set that over here. This one is a brand new start. I started this yesterday. Let me pull up the pattern. It is called Christmas Cottage by With a Needle and Thread. Oops. There it is with the little Santa in the house. He's putting stuff in the stockings there. It's so cute. It's kind of like a companion piece to the one I did for fall with Sarah. It was called Hallow Day Inn. It had witches. Kind of the same type of thing with the house. Here's my start. So I'm stitching this on 36 count shale by Picture This Plus. I started with the mantle. There's a couple candlesticks here, a couple little trees. I am a little worried about this fabric being a little too dark, a little too busy, but I'm gonna wait and get some more of the colors in, like Santa's coat and stuff. I am missing some colors. Whoops. I'm waiting for a 1, 2, 3 stitch order to come in. So I'm gonna try to put some colors in there, you know, other than like these neutral colors, and see if those pop on here. And if it's not looking good, I might change my fabric. I got this fabric from my friend Sarah for my birthday because she does a lot of things on shale, and everything she does on shale looks so good. And I'm keeping this in another Painted Leaf Co. bag, this like snowy village. Oh, it's so cute. I was keeping my winter folk in here. Let's set that one back here too because I'm currently working on those. Here's another one that I'm currently working on. This is called We Santa 2024 by Heart and Hand. Several of my friends have stitched this and finished it. Theirs looks amazing. Mine is still coming along. There it is. I'm stitching this on 46 count Silver Fox by Fiber on a Whim. And there we are. I've got Santa with his glasses there, filling in his beard. It's going to be so tiny because I'm 46 count, but I think it's so cute. It's going to be a great little ornament. Using all the called for floss, keeping it in this adorable little reindeer bag that I got from my sister's shop, Pepper Pot Shop. This is one I started last night. So this was a pattern that my friend Amanda gave me. She is Starlight Stitching Co. That's her shop. This chart is called Whimsy Christmas Biscornu. I've showed this on my channel recently, and Amanda allowed me to give away a couple of PDFs of this on my channel. And I've only ever stitched one Biscornu. I stitched one in the fall with my friend Sarah, and I was like, I gotta stitch another Biscornu. I'm losing some stuff here. My pile is dropping. Okay, so, here's a mystery. I've had this linen in my stash forever. Here's what it looks like. I told you it was a very small start. I started it last night. So I have written down 40 count Spice Blend Splash, and the maker, I put S and S. I have no idea what fabric dyer would be S and S. Does anybody know? Did I write this down wrong? So again, the fabric is Spice Blend Splash, and I wrote S and S. I have no clue. No clue. But there's my tiny little start. That's for the top part. So I'll work on that some more. And I'm keeping that in this cute little bag. I feel like this might be a Michelle Lee Quilts, but it doesn't have a label on it, so I could be wrong. Using all the called for DMC for that Biscornu. All right, this next one was my Christmas Day start. So many people are stitching this. I love it so much. It is Christmas at Hollyberry Farm, sampler by Stacy Nash. It's so pretty. Now, I did change some of the colors because I was pulling the called for colors and I felt like they were a little muted, especially compared to what the colors look like on the cover. And so I wanted to punch up the colors a little bit. So I know for sure I changed my red and my green. Like I didn't go wild or anything, but I made them a little more vibrant because I think it called for like mulberry or something. I could be wrong. But whatever the red was that it called for was not like red to me. So I did change a few of the colors. And there's my start. So again, I started in that top left corner, and I think it looks great so far. The fabric I'm using is 40 count Coffee Stain by Cedar River Linen, and I think it looks so good. There's my start. All right. And I'm keeping that in a portfolio by Winding Rainbows. Chris Sherman. So cute. Oh, I think I forgot to tell you, I had one of hers in my 2023 when I was showing you, and I didn't tell you what it was. Winding Rainbows. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to go fast. I just don't want to throw everything down on a pile because then I'll be so disorganized when I'm done. But I don't want this video to be 1,000 years long either. Okay, there's that one. All right, next. Oh, this one's so cute. It's called Tiny Village. I got this from Cressetta Go-Go. She actually had a little sale where if you bought one of her charts, you would get this one for free. So I bought another one of her charts and I got this one for free, although I think it's available for purchase. It's called Tiny Village. And I really needed some more small finishes because I don't have a lot of small Christmas finishes. So I thought this would be a really cute little pillow for my dough bowl. It's called Tiny Village. And there it is. I am using the called for DMCs. And it's turning out so cute. I'm hoping maybe I get this one finished before the new year. I'm going to work on this one some more tonight. Oh, I forgot to put that one back in that project folder. So this one might be another 2024 finish. We'll see. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you this fabric. I actually got from Roxy Floss. They have a fabric of the month club. And this was the September fabric. It didn't have a name. It just said September 2024 fabric of the month. It's such a good color, though. I love it. Definitely going to use it for other things. All right, next, this is another Stacy Nash. This one's called the Eliza Pool Sampler. Oh, I love this so much. I got it this summer when I was at Craft Gallery. They have some bins that have like 50% off patterns. I found this one. I was like, oh my gosh. I love that. I'd never seen it before. So while I was there, I also grabbed some fabric for it. This fabric is 40 Count Winter Wren by Fox and Rabbit. And I think it's just perfect. I love it. I did change out some of the colors. I subbed in some Roxy flosses just to kind of brighten the color palette up a little bit. The flowers, the flower border here, I guess over here really, it doesn't matter where, but the vines or the leaves are like brown. I didn't want my leaves to be brown. I wanted them to be green. So I did change a few of the colors and I think it's looking great on this fabric so far. So I cannot wait to get back to this one. I love that ship at the bottom right corner. Okay. And I'm keeping this in a special project bag that my mom made for me. Again, she's painted Leaf Co., but she did not put those in her shop. She just made that specially for me because I really liked that Tula Pink dog fabric. Okay, we're getting there. This next one is one that I started with my friend Sarah. This is called the Floral Motif Sampler by the Scarlet House. It's so pretty. I'm stitching mine on a 46 count Silver Fox by Fiber on a Whim. Pretty sure I left all the colors the same. I'm using all the called for colors, but here we are. That's my start. I really like it on this fabric. Oops. Going a little fast now and I'm forgetting to put some things back in their bags, so I'm hoping I don't get myself disorganized here. I'm trying to make this video not so long. Although some of you tell me that you like really long videos. So that's good. If you do, you're in the right place, I guess. Okay. All right, next. Oh, and this is in another beautiful, this is one of my favorite Painted Leaf Co. bags. Watercolor flowers, so pretty. This next one is another one that I started this year with my friend Sarah. It is called Serenity by Teresa Kogut. It's so big. We made our own hashtag for this one. We call it Serenity with the Sarahs. Ooh, it's so big I can't even put it on my board. I'm stitching mine on a 40 count latte by Fiber on a Whim. Yeah, the board, I'm not even gonna bother with the board for this one. Jeez Louise. There it is, 40. My whole pile just fell over. Pause. I'm back. Technical difficulties here. Okay, here's Serenity. That's where we're at with that one. Yes, 40 count latte, Fiber on a Whim, using all the called for colors. I'm using this really cute floss dial, although I'm pretty sure the Etsy maker that I got it from, I don't think they're on Etsy anymore, because I tried to go back recently and look at their shop, and there was nothing there, so I don't know. And I'm keeping this in a bag that I got from Sarah. She made these bags for us for our specifically for this project. Very cute. I love that it goes with our colors for the chart. We haven't stitched on this one in a while. Some of the things we stitched together, like we stitched the same thing at the same time, like, okay, this week let's work on this part. And other things, like, we just kind of work at our own pace. But this is one of those ones that we like to stay together on. And we haven't worked on it in a little bit. I feel like after the holidays, we'll get back to some of these other things that we haven't worked on in a while. Here's another one that we started. I think we started this one together. This is Love and Learning. Yeah, we did, because we both started it on the first day of school. This is Love and Learning by Emily Call. It's very pretty. I know Sarah changed some of her colors. I might change some of the colors. I did pull a couple other colors into my floss ring, but so far I've kept it the same as called for. That's what I have so far. I am stitching this on a 46 count Thornfield by Needle and Flax. And again, I'm using all the called for colors so far. I haven't changed anything out. I do worry about, there's like a white around this A and around this H, and you can't really see it at all. So I'm not gonna rip those out, but I don't think I'll use that white anywhere else in the chart. Because you can't see it. I think the letter Y is in that color, and I don't want that to disappear. So keeping that in this cute little bag from So Much to Love. Make sure I put everything back in here first. All right, this next one, I had a lot of starts with Sarah W. this year. This was her birthday start. She chose Anne Hughes, 1852, by Quaint Rose Needle Arts as her birthday start. It's fantastic. So many people started it with her, which, of course, because it's beautiful. And here's my progress so far. Oh, I love it so much. I cannot wait to fill in that house. I'm stitching this on 40 count Old Stationery by Seraphim. Sarah's using the same. One thing I haven't mentioned about Sarah is that even though she and I stitch a lot of the very same things, she's an Aida stitcher and I'm a linen stitcher. And so it's really fun to see the same projects on two different types of fabric. And so there's the colors, by the way. I cannot wait to use that one. So if you haven't watched it before, Sarah and I do a segment together on both of our channels called Stitching with the Sarahs. We try to get together once a month via Skype and film together and share all the things that we've been working on together. So we should be having a video come out either right before or right after this one. So keep an eye open for that. All right, and I'm keeping that in this beautiful bag from Michelle Lee Quilts. Next is a stitch along that I started in September. My friends Jody from Simply Stitching Ocala on Flosstube and Instagram and Etsy, and my friend Felicia, who is Floss and Blocks on Instagram and Etsy. They hosted this sal for this pattern called Dear Friends by Plum Street Samplery, or Samplers, excuse me. And I joined in with them, but I didn't get very far. Here's my tiny little start. There's my one deer. I'm stitching him on 46 count Old Mushroom by X2 Design using all the called for colors. So I need to get back to him at some point. And I'm keeping him in this bag that I actually got from Jody when we went to StitchCon. That was her table gift, so it was perfect for the stitch along. Oh my goodness. Here we go. All right, next is a chart. I believe I have this one on my iPad that I started back in, I want to say either September or October with my friends. It's called Harvest Moon by Annie B's Folk Art. It's gorgeous. This was new this year. And a few of my friends and I started it, Sarah and some of our other friends. And here's my start. Oops. There's my Harvest Moon start. I'm stitching this on a 40 count maple bar by Cedar River Linen using a complete Roxy Floss Co. Conversion. My friend Lori, she and our other friend Emily went to Stitch North. Evertote was there, and so they did a floss conversion for this chart. I did change out some of the colors from their conversion, just a couple of the colors, but otherwise I'm using all of their conversions. So I love stitching with Roxy Floss. I'm keeping that in this fall bag that I got from my mom from Painted Leaf Co. Oh, looks like this. All of those flower colors. Okay, next was another fall chart. This is Jack's House Pin Keep by Stacy Nash. My friend Sarah was stitching this with her friend, and I decided that I was going to jump in. I don't know what this fabric is. It was a scrap that was in my stash that I had started something else on. That was the something else. And I was like, I'm going to use that for Jack's house. So here's my start. And it calls for 3 colors. I pulled the 3 colors. I believe they're all Gentle Arts, but I also added in a Roxy Floss. Again, because the leaves and the vines were brown and I wanted them to be green. So I pulled in this Roxy Floss in the color Spinach. And that's where I got to. I'm keeping this in a Painted Leaf Co. bag with these cute little cats and pumpkins on it. That'll be a quick finish when I do get back to it. Speaking of Stacy Nash, this next one was a new release this past fall. It's called Merry Autumn Pin Keep. It's so cute. I had started this, didn't like the fabric, restarted it, like the fabric now. This fabric is 40 count Moonstone by Fiber on a Whim. And there's my restart, and it's looking so good. So good. I think I'm using all the called for. No, I did sub a couple of colors. But here are my colors. It's on a floss dial from Chantel's 141. Super cute. That's why I restart things, because if I don't like it the first time around, I'm going to restart it, so I do like it. And I think that was a really great decision for that one. And of course, I'm keeping it in a chicken bag because there's chickens on it, so keeping it in this adorable bag from Pepper Pot Shop on Etsy. Okay, next, I have 2 WIPs on the same fabric. So this first one is Botanical Study number 1. This was excuse me, this was a stitch along that was hosted by my friend Sarah with her friend from Paper Crane Yarns. They hosted a stitch along together. I'm pretty sure they both finished theirs. I know Sarah did. I have not finished mine. But on that same fabric, I'm also stitching Liberty Pennies by Hands On Design. So I'm just showing you at the same time because they're on the same fabric. And I'm pretty sure I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure this fabric is Slate by Fabrics by Stephanie. And I think it's a 36 count. I could be wrong, but there's my Botanical Study number 1. That's as far as I got with that, using all the called for colors for both. And then my Liberty Pennies is on the other end. That's all I got on that. Not very much on either because it's really hard to see on this fabric. I have to have really good light. So that's what I got on those. I'm keeping both of those in this keeper that I got when I was at the Steel City Stitchers retreat last year from a lovely girl named Thomasina. She was selling these. Her shop is called Paws, like doggy paws, kitty paws, Paws to Stitch. She's on Etsy. Go check her out. But she makes the cutest little keepers. She had small ones like this and she had big ones too. And I got matching ones for me and Sarah. Okay, making sure everything gets put back where it belongs. We're almost there. Okay. Next, so this was the exclusive last year when I went to Stitch Away, which is always in January. It's hosted by Keepsakes, which is my local needlework shop. This is called My Blue Heaven by Summer House Stitchworks. It's gorgeous. I started it at the retreat. I made good progress on it after the retreat. Here's where I'm at. I'm using all the called for, which is all Weeks Dye Works. I love the roof. I don't know if you can tell, but the roof is satin stitches. It's so pretty. But yeah, I loved it so much. I loved hearing about her inspiration for designing it. It's been a really enjoyable one to stitch. And I'm stitching that one on 40 count Weathered Stone by Atomic Ranch. And I'm keeping it in this Painted Leaf Co. bag. Next is another one that I started with Sarah W. on, we started this on April Fool's Day, because it's Tom's Foolery by Hands Across the Sea. Oh, I lied earlier. I said I only had one Hands Across the Sea, but apparently I have two. I forgot about this one. Because this is not a typical Hands Across the Sea. When I think Hands Across the Sea, I don't think of this one because this one's so funky. It's so crazy. But we started this on April Fool's Day, so we gave it the hashtag Foolery on Fools. Here's that foolery right here. So we've just kind of been hopping around and stitching different parts. We did get the border done. I'm stitching mine on 40 count Lightning by Needle Bling. And I'm using all the called for DMC. And it looks so cute so far. I'm trying to go fast because this video is already over 2 hours long. It's insane. It's a lot of whips though. And I'm keeping this in this really fun, colorful bag from my friend Lori. She made it for me for StitchCon. I love it. All right, here's another one that I'm doing with Sarah. We started a lot of things together in 2024. This one's called Sarah's Sewing Bag. If you've been here before, you've seen this one. I love it. It's definitely one of my most favorite stitches of all. And we're getting very close to a finish. There it is. The finish will be this beautiful bag. There's the front. There's the back. So that's the only part we have to stitch still is those flower urns down there in the bottom. I'm stitching mine on 40 count Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit, using some called for, some my own conversion, and I think it's turning out really good. So definitely going to be finishing that this year. For sure. I cannot wait to do the fully finishing as the sewing book. Sarah had already sent me some things for my birthday to put in our sewing bag. I said sewing book before, but it's a sewing bag. It's going to be so cute. I'm keeping this in a Buckleberry Quilts bag. So pretty. I think I say that about all my bags because they're all pretty. This next one is called Wherever There Are Birds. It's a Teresa Kogut. I think it came out at Market this year. It says, wherever there are birds, there is hope. This bird is fantastic. It's another one on that Grandpa's Sleeve by XQ Design. I believe that's the called for, actually. And that's what I've got. So I've got that big giant black bird done. So I've got some berry bowls on either side of him, some other little birds and doodads. But there he is in all of his glory. Oh, and I'm keeping that one in another stitch case from Winding Rainbows. That's what she calls them, a stitch case. I kept forgetting what they were called. Little farm one, flowers on the back, strawberries on the inside. To go with the strawberries that the bird is holding in his beak. And I think I'm using all the called for colors for that one, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're all DMCs. I've got a couple of classic color works and weak dye works in there. All right, I think I'm down to my last couple here. Oh, that wind out there is crazy. Yes, 2 left. All right, this one is called the Modern Botanical Wedding Sampler. So pretty. I think that was a Nashville release last year. I'm stitching mine with all the called for DMCs. They're very bright, brilliant colors. And I'm stitching it on 40 count Friendship Green by Fabrics by Stephanie. I have a small start, top left corner. That's where I'm at. I'm keeping that in another really cute patchwork bag. This one's from Wild Berry Stitching. I love it. It's got strawberries on the back. Okay, we are down to 1 WIP. I should have planned it better. I should have planned like a really big like finish. They just happen to be in whatever order I grabbed them. Not that this one's not sweet. This one is called Home Sweet Home by Shakespeare's Peddler. This was also it says a Nashville Market exclusive 2024. I don't know if you can see, but there's like little buttons on it. So I did get the little button pack to go with it. And I started this on Mother's Day this year. Started with the roof of the house, and there's my start. So there's that. So this is 40 count Moonstone by Fiber on a Whim. And I think I'm using all the called for. Looks like, well, I might not be. I might just be using the DMC conversion with 1 Gentle Arts. Those colors are so pretty. And I'm keeping that in this really cute painted leaf co bag with the little houses on it. And that is my 2024 end of year WIP parade. Whew! If you stuck around this long, thank you for hanging out with me this long. I tried to move along quickly. I tried not to have too much chit chat. I do appreciate you guys, like, again, waiting for me to put things back in bags so I didn't have a holy mess when I'm done here. I hope you enjoyed your time with me today. I hope you saw some things that inspired you, or some WIPs that maybe we have in common, or things you want to start. Let me know. Let me know if there's anything we have in common that maybe we could stitch on together this year. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up. I hope everybody has a fantastic new year. Let me know if there's any WIP parades that you've seen that you really enjoyed, because I love watching a WIP parade. And I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye.